Welcome to Hexy's Arcade Corner, a new segment I'll be doing where I explore all sorts of retro 80s and 90s arcade games. Esprade is a 1998 vertically scrolling shoot-'em-up game developed by Cave Entertainment and published by Atlas Games. Unlike other shoot-'em-ups in the genre, this one focuses on some psychic main characters who have different elemental powers instead of your usual planes. Instead of the regular bombs that you would drop in your plane shoot-'em-ups, you instead have a shield that absorbs incoming bullets. You can charge up your shield and then fire a big laser beam. The more bullets you absorb, the bigger your shield and the more powerful your beam will be. Your shield can also convert incoming bullets into power-ups, so you can get yourself back up to max power in no time. You can also use a secondary attack that fires towards the top of the screen, but also angled in the direction that you're moving towards. Our first character is Yusuke. He uses fire elemental attacks that fire in a focused beam formation that does a lot of damage.
Now that's a lot of damage!
Straight ahead, and is probably my favorite character to use. The second character in the game is JB. He can use lightning elemental attacks that fire in 3-pronged, and later 5-pronged, attack patterns. This is good for crowd control and chipping away at boss health when they move around too much. With this character's edgy attire, I'd say he probably deals emotional damage.
Emotional damage!
I mean, can you imagine being beaten by this? He's wearing a cape, for crying out loud. Rory's the third character and the only girl, and she has a stupid bird that fires a wide shot and is weak and terrible and stupid, and I hate it. In the first stage, you encounter a group of students and one of them's being abducted by wizards. They grab him, knock him out, and fly off. And whichever character you've chosen flies after them. The first stage sees you flying over a city, blasting buildings and tanks and fighting flying drones. And partway through you have to fight a mini-boss, a spider.
The giant enemy spider.
That fires pretty easy to dodge 3-prong attacks and other basic firing patterns. Once you've defeated the mini-boss, you move on to the first boss battle of the game. You start off by fighting the wizards from the beginning of the stage. And then it turns out that the guy that they abducted wasn't really a victim, and he was actually the evil boss of the first stage. What a twist!
What a twist!
It turns out he has psychic powers too, and he leaps into the air to fight you. As you whittle down his health, he'll fire out a bunch of drones that make things really difficult, as they can fire a mass volley of shots. This is the game telling you that it's time to use your shield attack, so charge it up to max and then blast him. In no time, you'll have wiped out all 3 of his health bars. The second level sees you flying over some sort of marina, and you wind up fighting drones and tanks and whole battleships. After blowing up the Navy, we come to the second boss of the game, some sort of armored helicopter hovercraft hybrid. tends to fire a lot of its shots from its mounted guns, meaning that they radiate out in a circular pattern. If you're good at other shoot-'em-up games like Toho, you'll have no problem mitigating this hail of bullets. If you're not great at dodging though, you can always power up your shield, since it fires a lot of power-boosting bullets. Unlike the first boss with its multiple health bars, this second one only has one big one that drains down as you're chipping away at its armor. And then I think the game misidentifies this next level as a shopping mall. It clearly looks more like a casino to me. Oh, hold on, what's this? I do see. At night. It's at night.
At night.
You know, 'cause that makes all the difference as to whether a shopping mall looks like a mall or a casino, right? All those shopping malls that just turn into casinos overnight. At night. Despite once again only having one health bar like the last boss, this one requires you to break down multiple parts of its body. It consists of the front treads, which have multiple guns on them, a gun turret on top, an armored body that when blown away reveals the chain guns underneath, and it has some extra guns on its back treads. The fourth level sees you flying over trains and fighting enemies who are riding on them, as well as flying above the tracks and even fighting against the trains themselves. The fourth boss is a fucking mecha. It's a Gundam!
Can't be a Gundam!
Once again, it only has one health bar, and you have to blast off its arms, at which point it sprouts giant cannons that make your life an actual bullet hell until you wind up taking it down. The fifth level is an all-out war against tanks and jeeps with guns on them, as well as some of the flying, hovering enemies from before. The fifth boss is a whole freaking house.
They shouldn't call it the White House. They should call it the Fight House.
Don't get distracted, Jody.
With mounted gun turrets and two wizards putting up a shield, you'll have to break it all down to go inside and fight the final level. The sixth level is the last level of the game. Here you have to chase down the final boss through their mansion of chipmunk-voiced maids with machine guns. The final boss starts off by mounting her giant statue head, but once you've taken down its one large health bar, the head frickin' explodes and crumbles to dust. And then you have to fight the boss herself. She proceeds to sprout 5 whole new health bars that go down painfully slow. Once you've taken down her first bar though, she sprouts some stylish RGB butterfly wings that fire bullets. With every health bar you take down, her wings will shatter and break apart until you reach her final health bar. She'll then begin to hide anytime you fire your charged shield beam. She throws out a bunch of shots during this phase though, so you can quickly charge up your shield, fire it at her, and then let her run away and come back, and it'll save on your energy. Don't bother holding the button for extended periods of time. And with that, we've beaten the whole game, with the final villain exploding into a cloud of blood. A little overdramatic if you ask me. If you enjoyed this quick glimpse into the game, I'd recommend picking it up and trying it for yourself. It takes about 20 minutes to beat all the way through, and you can emulate it with MAME. However, it just recently came out for Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 as well, so you can buy it there. Probably one of my most replayed arcade titles. You could say I'm addicted to it. The sprite work in this game looks and feels phenomenal. The animations are smooth, the colors vibrant, and the backgrounds are full of rich details. Finally, the soundtrack to this game is truly wonderful. It really shows off what those old arcade boards were capable of. To wrap things up, I'm gonna play off a few songs before I finish this video. Well, that's all I have time for this time. Ciao for now, and I hope you come and see me again next week. Hexi, out. Thanks go out to my Patreon supporters. Your donations mean the world to me, and I thank you for supporting my future endeavors.